Before we begin, I want you to take one deep breath, not the kind you take when you're stressed, the kind you take when you're feeling relief. Because something in you already knows you didn't click this by accident. You clicked it because you're outgrowing an identity that can't follow you into the next chapter. Your old self has expired. And today, we are burying what no longer serves you and activating everything that does. Your old self was built from survival. It wasn't built from consciousness. It wasn't built with intention. It wasn't built from desire. It was built from fear, memories, disappointment, overstimulation, lack, needing to be liked, needing to be chosen, needing to be safe. This self-rehearsed pain, this self prepared for the worst, this self carried burdens that were never yours to carry. You don't need to feel guilty for outgrowing that version of you. They got you this far. They kept you alive. But you're not living at that level of survival anymore. You're stepping into creation. Old identities don't dissolve because something is wrong. They dissolve because something finally becomes right. You are ready for more. And your old identity simply doesn't fit the reality you're stepping into. Before you even speak it, before you journal, before you affirm, your identity shifts quietly. You feel it in the moments when old conversations drain you, old patterns stop making sense, old desires feel too small, old relationships feel misaligned, old fears feel boring, old insecurities feel like they belong to someone else. These are not signs. These are confirmations. Your consciousness is expanding. Your old self is detaching. Your energy is rewriting its baseline. This is why everything feels different lately. Your soul is updating its operating system. You're not losing yourself. You're returning to yourself. Let's talk about the identity you're stepping into. This new version of you assumes good things, expects to receive, speaks with certainty, not desperation, experiences money as normal, not magical, is chosen without performing, feels worthy without trying, moves like someone who is used to winning. This version of you doesn't panic when things shift. They know things shift because they are rising. This identity is calm because it is grounded in truth. Not ego, not fear, not validation. Truth. The truth is, you have always been this version of you. You just finally stop arguing against it. When identity changes, your external reality must follow. It has no choice. But here's the catch. Before your new reality stabilizes, your old reality tries to get your attention one last time. It sounds like, what if nothing changes? What if I'm delusional? What if I can't keep this up? What if the good things disappear? These are not warnings, they're echoes. echoes from an identity that no longer exists. Your job is to not fight it. Your job is to not fix it. Your job is to hold your center. Reality reorganizes itself around the version of you that is most stable. Again, reality reorganizes itself around the version of you that is most stable. Not the most emotional, not the most scared, not the most familiar, the most stable. So when you stabilize in your new identity, your world has to match it. It's the law. Close your eyes for a moment. I want you to imagine the version of you who already has the money, the relationship, the confidence, the beauty, the stability, the peace, the lifestyle, the opportunities. See them, feel them. Imagine watching them move through an ordinary day. How do they breathe? How do they walk? How do they speak to themselves first thing in the morning? How do they approach problems? How do they handle compliments? How do they experience money? How do they handle love? How do they respond when something goes wrong? What do they believe about themselves that you have not been allowing yourself to believe yet? Now, for the next 10 seconds, breathe as them. Not as who you were, as who you truly are. That. That was identity shift. Right there. That's all it takes. Here's the truth most people never learn. When you shift identity, the outside world doesn't immediately match it. Not because you're blocked, not because you're doing something wrong, but because your reality is recalibrating. You might see delays, silence, old fears rising, people acting weird, temporary setbacks, unexpected endings. These are not failures. These are the timelines that no longer match your new identity falling apart. Don't chase them, don't panic, don't negotiate with the old story. Hold your position. Your new identity becomes real the moment you persist in it without proof. That's how creation works. Here are the only 3 rules. Respond as the version of you who already has it. Every situation, every text, every bill, every emotion. Ask, how would the version of me who already has what I want respond? Then and only then do you respond. Stop rehearsing the old story. That's number 2. If thinking about it drains you, you're thinking from the wrong identity. Shift. Number 3, make embodiment your baseline. Identity isn't something you use, it's something you become. The more natural it feels, the faster reality conforms. Your old self has expired. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need permission. You don't need signs. You are no longer the version of you who begged for change. You are the version who commands it. Identity first, reality second. If you're ready to rewrite your life intentionally, I created full identity reauthoring frameworks. Money, love, SP, opportunities, health, fertility, everything you need to stay in character and recreate your story. They're linked in the description. And remember, your new identity isn't becoming, it's already here.